me here again. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and please hit like and please give me a thumbs up, and I think that's what a like is. So please do that. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. I've worked very hard over the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years to try to get that many subscribers. And I know my videos aren't as clean as others, but they're real. So this is a Seiko movement here. It's the 7S36 movement, I think. So it is not winding. I thought it might be winding, but I've got information from others that it is not winding. It's obviously running here. And these little claws are Seiko proprietary way of actually winding the watch when the rotor is on. So the rotor is not on right now. I've taken the rotor off so that I could service this watch. So what I'm going to do is this video will be stripping this watch down, and there's that nice bounce just ticking away nicely. I wound this watch up using a screwdriver over the mainspring, and in order to actually take the power off the mainspring, I need to take a screwdriver and then put a little bit of a clockwise turn on it, and then move the click spring out of the way as I do that, right? So, and it doesn't even look like it's attached here. What the hell's going on? Maybe there is no power left on the mainspring. So let me just click that for a second, see what's going on. That's odd. It's very odd. Pliska odd. Okay, so move there, no problem. And does this little click spring move out of the way? Yeah, that's kind of odd. It winds it and it clicks. It's supposed to click into place here. Very odd. Anyway, we're going to do that to try to relieve the pressure from the mainspring. So I got to tell you, I had to cheat a bit and watch another person service one of these pocket watches so I would be able to do this myself. So I'm going to basically, what is my desktop audio on? I'm going to turn that off. It's probably where I got the echo last time. I want to turn this barrel here. Yeah, I can see it clicking here when I do that. So if I turn it again and just move that click spring out of the way, will it in fact... It's not going back. I slipped, of course, so it's not good. Now, is it not going back because I've got the crown wheel on here? Maybe. So I may have to take that off first before I relieve the power from the mainspring. So let's hope I don't screw that up, right? So let's get that out first and see if that works. Removing the power. So these marks say that to loosen it, you got to go clockwise. So that's the only rule here when you see marks. At least Seiko did that for me, right? So not all watch companies provide that nice service where they will tell you which way to move the screw in order to remove the actual screw. But it's not righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, whatever it is, right? So I just have to get under here and see if I can wedge that out. And I think these little pawls will go underneath here. And trying to be safe with this and never force the parts. And just move it sideways like that. That should do. And then grab this, and I'm going to put this where the screw is. There's the back end of it, and there's a little gear there that was likely holding this in place so it wouldn't move. And now, when I put a little bit of pressure on this and move the click spring away, or the click away. Yeah, there we go. Now it's wanting to turn, so I just grab my screwdriver nice and easy, and I just turn it just a bit and grab the click and just let it go down, and then just re-engage it, re-grab my screwdriver, turn it, re-engage it, like that. It's a simple process. You just have to be careful when you're doing it, that's all. And that's all the power there is. So you can see that it stopped, which is what you want. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. And now to release the crown and stem from this, I hear that you actually have to have it inward like that, because if you have it outward, you'll see that it snaps off snaps out of the way. Let's see if I can do that without breaking my fingernail. There, see? 1, 2. And that's the little button right there. Buckle my shoe. Buckle my shoe. So I happen to have a needle in a vise. If you don't have one of these needles in a vise, you are nobody. So as you can see, let me just rotate that just a bit. And I think the little dimple here that I've got to press down is right here. That's the dimple. So I'm going to try to press that down. I'm not looking at the watch closely. I'm looking at my camera this time. I guess this is what remote surgery would be like, right? It is kind of weird how you can do this and still kind of know where you are. And the stem comes out. I just did that and just pull the stem out and you're good. And you can see all the crud around the crown or the tube here that's used. So that's that. Now again, to work this watch out, I'm not sure how much interaction I have here with this particular device. It shouldn't be a lot, but it might be a little. So I'm just going to grab this here and see if it just comes up at all. Just grab that with a screwdriver a bit maybe. No, there's got to be holding tabs in here then. I'm going to have a look at this and see if there's any holding tabs in here. So all I needed to do to move that movement out of there was put my screwdriver under one of the places right there and then pull up a bit. And that moves it out. But I want this to be on a nice soft pad. So I do have the Bergeron 5395 pad that you've seen a few times. So for some reason it likes to collect dust, and all you do is you turn the movement like this onto the rubber gelled pad and you dump it. And there we go. And this is part of the casing. So I'm not going to worry about this right now and put that aside. And now I have the movement here. So I'm going to be able to probably pull the hands up the way they are, but I'm going to try to do it the very sophisticated way of moving the hands up. So just reinsert the stem here. I should be able to just push it into place here like that, hopefully, don't know. And then one click is for date or day, and the second click should be for setting the time. And I want to move that, set the time if I can to 12 o'clock. Actually, I don't want it at 12 o'clock because I want to be able to put levers on there. So I'm going to set it like this. And then I wish that I could actually get that second hand over, but I can't unless I put power on the watch and then freeze it. So I'm not going to bother doing that. But now I've got to press that button again to take the stem out. So I've got to push this all the way in again. And then press that button on the other side. And I'm just trying to align the hands for removal. So the button is down there, and I should be able to use that needle again or a very small screwdriver here to press that button while I get the hands, the stem out. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure on the stem. So just grab it kind of like this, and then when I do this, it'll apply pressure on it. So that way I can get my screwdriver in here with a little bit of support and push on this indent right there, down on the indent, and put and that should allow me to take out the stem. And there we go. So the stem is out. Now I can turn that around, and that was zero pressure on the hands, which is really nice. Now I do have a hand removing device that I could use for this. It's probably not necessary, as I think I can take the whole group of hands out in one shot with hand levers. So let me get a piece of plastic that I can put over the hands so as not to screw the hands up. So let me grab that piece of plastic here. I've got this in my watch stuff. And here it is here. You can see it's been a victim of many hand removals. And then I have very wide hand removers that I bought a long time ago. And I bought these to distribute the pressure that you're exerting on the hands, distribute it so I wouldn't damage the watch at all. So I think I can get underneath it with this and then just lift up like that, and then all the hands are now out and one's stuck to the thing here. So I could just do that and grab that and put that aside, and then grab these hands very carefully and put these aside. I've been told that this is a workhorse movement, so which means if you don't have a horse, buy one of these. So the hands are in excellent condition, so that's done. And I should be wearing gloves right now, but I'm not. But I'll just flip that over right now. So, and what I want to do now is see if I can remove this plastic shield here. I'm not exactly sure how to remove it, but I want to remove that prior to taking the balance out. So, but I think I might have to. Let me look at this very carefully. I think I may have to take the I may have to strip some of the watch before I can remove that little plastic shield, because I know that the face of the watch comes straight up. I know that if you wedge something in here, you can just lift the face up like this. It's friction fit, unlike pocket watches that have screws. And so I just fit a screwdriver in there, and then I can lift the face up no problem and get that out of the way. And remember, the balance is not in any jeopardy right now, so there is a clip right here that needs to be removed, and I think I can wedge that clip upward, but I have to have a very small screwdriver to do that, and I don't want to lose that clip. As someone was saying on the internet the other day, is that the last thing you want is for you to have to go down into the carpets to find stuff. So, but I think this clip moves backward, I believe. So, but again, I'm not sure how to move this movement holder out of the way. I want to have a look at this very carefully, see if there's something in there that I just have to move to get the movement holder out of the way. It may just be a matter of removing some of that front dial stuff, and that the movement holder just pops out. Because the movement should just come out, right? There shouldn't be an issue here at all. Yeah, that's not coming out. So that movement holder, let me have a look at this again. I would like to get the balance out of there. So I might take that balance out first before I fart with anything else, because you don't want the balance to be jeopardized at all. Right, so let me think here. Movement holder. So I can see one side of it right there and the other side there, but I can't see a clip that would move that would lock that in, unless it's just simply there, right, and not locked in, because that would go down, which means the movement would go up. It's all very confusing. I'm just going to use this as leverage again and see what happens here. Okay, the movement, the actual plastic part snapped back. So maybe it does just come out, because I snapped that back without a problem at all. Being very cautious here. I think it's just conforming to the actual movement. I just have to work it out with my fingers like that, and the movement should just pop out, which I think it's doing right now. Oh, the world of plastic, right? Oh, the world of plastic. I think the movement is out. See, I can see it stressing the date part. That's good. There it is. Gone. Out. Oot, as they say. So now I could probably remove that clip, but the first thing I'm going to do then is get rid of this, of the balance. I need to get rid of the balance, folks. I need to get rid of the balance. I need to get a tray. A tray. Hang on, I just reach up to my world of trays. I got like 20 of them. Sometimes I've got a lot of watches on the go here, and other times not so much. But I need to reach up and not have all my trays hit the floor. So that would be tray bad. So you can see a few trays here that I've got. A few hundred trays. So make sure I keep them clean so we don't have leftover parts from the last servicing, from the last watch or pocket watch. So I'm doing this watch servicing for a friend of mine, Jim. So I did a servicing on one of his watches before, quite a few years ago. So I could put this in a movement holder to do this, but I don't want to. It's on my gel pad, so it's safe. So I take out the screw where the balance cock is. Very carefully. I was watching someone service one of these watches the other day, and this guy was stripping this shit down so fast. It was incredible. But these are the watch guys that do, 10 a day or something. They're just always continuously doing repair on these things. There we go. Just move that out of the way like that. And now I'm going to get in a little close. Get the tray close to me here. And I'm going to just grab the balance. And the balance cock as one unit. So I just grab that as one unit and turn that around and put it in the tray upside down like that. So now there it is sitting in the tray. It's all good. Leave that alone. So now I've got that out of the way. Always make sure you cover the tray so nothing falls in there, because that would be tray bad. That was a French joke. Yeah, and now I want to be able to remove this clip. Clips scare me, by the way. I always usually put a piece of Rodico near it or something, because if the clip flies, I don't want it to fly, first of all. So, and I'm not sure the exact technique to remove a clip. So if I put a piece of Rodico near that clip, there's a high probability the clip won't take a ride. There we go. Now when I go in here with the clip removal device, which should just be a screwdriver, well, it twisted nicely. I saw someone remove the clip the other day, and it was... There's likely a tool for this. Alright, that didn't work. I'll look closely at this clip and see if I can maybe grab it from the back and pull it out. Not sure why it's always the smallest little things on a watch that are the hardest little problem. There we go. All I did was circle the clip. And there it is. It's still in good condition. There's no clip issues there. and then the calendar should just come right up. I may just use a piece of Rodico to pull that up. That way I don't damage anything. So just push down with the Rodico and pull it straight up, and there it is there. And there's the clip and that part there. So I'm going to put a few of these pieces in my watch container now that I've got them sort of apart. So I'll take this here, put that in there. I'm going to team that up with the clip here, like that. And I'm going to take the screw for the balance and put that close to where the balance is. And this jobby doohickey wheel I'm going to put way over here. I can put that in with this here, I think. So, and make sure the screw for that is with it, like that. And the hands, I'm going to put the hands in the watch itself. So I'm going to take the watch case itself and just throw the hands in there so that I know where they are. I do that with pocket watches all the time. Just habits, I think, right? So now I've got the hands in there nicely. And the dial, I might be able to just put the dial in there too. See the dial? Let's put that dial in there for now. And the ring for the dial can go in there with it. Like that. That way I've stored it all in a nice place I'm not too concerned about. And I can continue stripping down this watch movement. So this plate here and this plate here actually are in place to hold down the day ring. So I believe I just have to take out these plates here and the day ring will be removed. And I want to keep these screws with the plates. And I took a picture of all this so I wouldn't be distracted in my reassembly of this movement, right? There is the world's smallest screw right here, and I don't know why they did that, but they put the world's smallest screw in there. And that world's smallest screw is part of this whole plate thingamajobby doohickey that just comes off. Doing this again under camera is never as good as when you're nice and quiet listening to the radio, removing watch parts. It's a lot easier. And again, I've got this on the sponge, the gel pad, so there's no chance of me breaking or ruining anything. So then I've got to take out the world's smallest screw here, or else this thing won't come up. It'd be nice if I didn't have to do that. I could remove this little gear here first, because that just comes right out. And there's two of them. There's one underneath there as well. But I have to remove this screw, so I don't think that my world's smallest screwdriver can remove that world's smallest screw. No, I'm going to have to get a small screwdriver to do that. So let me see if I can find one. So I bought one of these a long time ago. It has pretty small screws in it. Here I'm freehanding this, so if you could look at that little screw in the middle on the top, it's a little kind of a star. I have to make a screwdriver to fit in there. So here's a screwdriver I'm going to adjust. And I've got a lot of other blades for that, but I decided to use the white one because the width on this screwdriver here was appropriate, so it was wide enough to deal with the with turning it into the right size. So then I've got all of these various diamond plates. This is 2,000, 3,000. I think I had one that was 400, but it does 2,000. But I can still file this down with a 2,000 plate. I think. I'm hoping. So here's the diamond plate here, and there's the diamond plate. And so all I need to do is scrape that down and then look at it. So I'm going to do it at an angle. I'm going to do it by hand. So I'm going to take this diamond plate here, and I'm just going to work on the screwdriver here on one side. And then on the other side. And I'm going to look at that in my loop to see whether I was marginally successful or not. And I'm going to work on that until I've turned it into a roof. So I've decided to use a thicker blade. So this blade is no good for me. So I've got to just pick a thicker one, maybe this one here, and then see if I can shave that down into the right shape. Alright, so I made the little hat screwdriver right there, and then I was able to, I forgot to hit record there, but I was able to unscrew the world's smallest screw right there, that one there, using that little hat screwdriver. So it's the only screwdriver blade I've had to make so far in watch repair. So now I've got to make sure I put a proper blade back in this screwdriver, but if I can deal with it later, fine, because I'm going to have to put that screw back in using this blade. So I think the best thing I could do is just take this blade out, just remove this blade. Yeah, I'm just going to remove this blade here and throw that in, and that's a black blade. Throw that blade in with the see, is that all the way out? Yeah, it's just a bit stuck. There we go. I'm going to throw that blade in with these screws, because then I'll know that's the one I need to use to remove that. So then I've got to get another blade for this black screwdriver. So luckily I do a lot of work with prepping my blades, so I'm not concerned about having blades available. Let me look down here. I got a lot of broken blades from the past. Just spilled them out here. I think this one here looks good. So let me just grab a blade. So I may have to dress this blade as well. Some of these look a bit chopped over the years. So this one here looks like it might work. So I've got to put that back in. And it goes in with the flat part. There's a flat part of the blade right here that conforms to where the screw is. And so when you put the blade back in, you got to make sure that that flat part is where it's supposed to be. And I'm just put it in about that far, I think is good enough. And then tighten the blade down. It looks like I've done this a few times with this particular blade. It looks like the holding screw looks pretty mangled. Alright, that's good enough for now. Good enough for now. And then put the rest of these back. And I'm going to have to dress this blade a bit, because it looks like it is at an angle. Is that at an angle? It's not too bad. I probably would do a little tiny bit of dressing here. And you don't want your blades to be sharp, so you have to make sure they're actually flattened on the end as well. And that, my friends, looks pretty darn good. That looks pretty good. So that's good enough for now, and let's get on with the job. Alright, now I should be able to just remove this plate here. There we go, and it goes straight up, which is good. And I think that wheel just stays where it is. So I'm just going to put that plate in with the screws and everything else. into the watch, and then now that I've got that plate up, I can remove this little piece of plastic here. And I can, if I'm looking at this other plate here, this ring, I can remove the hour plate too. So just get that out of the way. And this just comes straight up as well. I should probably take a picture of this, but there's enough pictures of these movements online, so I'm not too concerned. So this is a date changing wheel here, and I'm going to just grab that, throw that in. That's all of the date wheel crap all in the same place. So then I just need to lift up the hour wheel here, and I'll put that in with the wheels. I can take out the overall day wheel here and put that aside over in the side here. So I've got that going in here, right, on the side. And now the cannon pinion, actually the minute wheel should just come straight up. There we go. I don't put any pressure on those when I lift them, so there's no chance of them getting broken. And clutch wheel, and that's going to definitely come out anyway, so I'm going to need to take, can't remember what the name of this wheel is, but I need to take that out as well, because that won't survive first contact with the enemy. And I think that's all skinned down now, so what I can do now is grab the cannon pinion. That should come straight up without too much of a problem. There we go. That's the cannon pinion straight up. And now you just have to watch out for this seconds wheel here. So I think that's good. I'm not going to bother removing the plate here that holds the two cap jewels here, and then this cap jewel here that's on, I'm not going to remove that from now. I'm just going to put this movement into a movement holder and flip it around for the rest of it. And yes, I am going to use a Myers number 58 movement holder, your third hand. These are just amazing, these movement holders. So this one here has got a leftover pocket watch movement holder in here, and I'm going to replace that with these jobby doohickeys, which are a little smaller, very easy to replace. You just throw that one away, and you take this one here and you slide it in sideways like that, and then there's a spring bar on the bottom, and that spring bar, this right here, grabs that. So I have a few of these movement holders and I love them. So I've got stuff in the other ones right now, so I'm not going to use that, but I think I need to use this one here for this particular movement to strip that down properly. So I always make sure I don't squish anything in here. So this will go in on one side like this, and then I'll close the movement holder on the other side like this. And so it's fitting in nicely. And the beautiful thing about this movement holder is that if you look right here, these little cutouts here, these little V cutouts prevent the movement from popping out. And then when you turn this to tighten it, there's an internal spring in here, so it's not pushing against that, it's pulling on the spring which is pushing on that. So, and you can feel it tightening a bit, and so you only need to tighten it a bit, and it works perfectly. So that holds the movement in place better than any other movement holder I know. Plus, when you're applying pressure on this side, it doesn't want to flip the movement over, and other movement holders will tend to want to flip that movement over. So this movement holder is the best one out there, bar none. So now I'm going to do a little more work on this watch. So what are we going to do? Let's take off the ratchet wheel here on the top, and I'm going to leave these where they are and just remove the ratchet wheel. And there's no righty, lefty, tighty, and all that crap for this ratchet wheel. It just comes out like this, straight up. like that. Get this out of the way. I think my big old titanium Apple Watch is getting in the way here. So that is the world's biggest screw, so I'm going to throw that into the container where it deserves to be, right? And then the wheel itself should just, I should be able to prise that out. Like that. You do everything very gently and you'll be good. If you take your time with watch work and you'll be fine. So that's out, and you can see the mainspring barrel. There's a little bit of dirt here, which is a wonderful thing, which means it needs to be cleaned. And now I can take this plate out here. So this plate will come out perfectly. I'm going to remove my big giant titanium Apple Watch. This thing is a beast. This is a watch that my son gave me. It turns into a dive watch. You press buttons. It's got activities on it. It does all kinds of stuff, all kinds of apps. And it's also a watch. And I know if I do this and I move it, I can turn it into all kinds of different watches. I can turn that into, what is that? It's like a Rolex. Oh, there's somebody at my door. There we go. I'm going to zoom in for that later. I'll show you this watch, but I got to get it off my wrist right now because when I put my arm down, it's so big it interferes with my arm. So, and that thing can basically go underwater and become a dive watch. So I'm just going to remove these screws here, and there's 3 of them. Try not to put too much pressure. There's somebody at my door. Just going to put that down there. I think that's loud enough. It might be a delivery. I'm waiting for a hairspring. Waiting for a hairspring. It's the only thing I'm waiting for right now. I decided on that watch I was working on before I straightened up the hairspring and got it running perfectly, but I thought, you know what, I could get that amplitude a lot better. I'm going to try a brand new hairspring for this watch because I didn't know I could get one, and it turns out I did find one, so I impressed myself. So again, just you get the plates like this, and you just have to prise it off. Pick an area that you can work on and just do that. Up and then a little sideways, and then there you go. And that's the plate. Now this can be removed too. And there's a clip on here, like right here. But I'm not going to remove that right now. I am sorry, folks. I'm not removing it. Although I could, because I want to remove that and clean these up. So I'll do that later. Put that aside. I'm putting that pivot up in the container because I want to get this stuff out of the way. So now I can just strip out some of this stuff here. It's a center wheel. And again, I want to take that center wheel and I put it facing upward. And this wheel here, I don't think I can hold this by the pivot. Maybe I can. I'm better than I thought I was. So that's that. And I believe this spring can come straight up. Got a bit of personality, but that's what it looks like. And that just comes straight out, which is kind of nice. And then the mainspring barrel, I need to just lift that up. And I gotta find something to lift it up with. I'll just do this to lift it up. There it is. You can see all the grease and stuff on this thing here. And I'll take the mainspring out of here after. No need to remove that right now. And I've got to take out the balance cock here. See if I can take out the bridge here. It's got pretty big screws. I gotta admit, this watch has got pretty big screws on it. So bigger than you'd think for a watch like this, right? So just moving my lighting a bit here. And I always like to hold this down. And I can use my tweezers to do that. I can just take one screw out, it's fine. And then the second screw, I want to hold this down so the pivot doesn't bend at all. There's somebody at my door again. This is my wife going in and out of the house. I hate turning it off though, because I don't know if, see, this is the bridge. I'm going to put this bridge over here with the balance. So just a quick look here. So I just threw the bridge in there. There, the screw for the bridge, I just threw that in with the balance, so I won't mix those up because there's two of them. So there's no problem. I think my wife's just doing gardening or something and coming in and out of the house, and it's making loud noise every time. I apologize for that. Now here's where I want to hold it down. I've got my world's famous stick, but I'll use my tweezers this time. And just hold this plate down while I remove this, because I don't want it dancing up and perhaps hitting something. All right, so get rid of the screw here. Like this, and then the bridge should come straight up here. I want to be able to grab this and pull it straight up with the balance, with the pallet fork if I can. There we go. So that's it there. And then the pallet fork, very, very carefully lift that up and take that out. And that's the pallet fork. And then I can remove this plate here, and there's only one screw there for that. To be very careful. I slipped there, and that could have been a disaster if that pallet fork had still been in there. So you do not want to slip. Slipping in watch work is bad. And I'm going to put that plate where the other stuff isn't. So I may have to prise that off here very carefully with it. I'm looking at this particular screwdriver here, and it looks like it needs some work. Alright, decided to move over there, that's fine. And I like to keep the screws together with the parts because sometimes they're very hard to... And there we go. It's another wheel. Put that wheel in with the other wheels. That's the escapement wheel. And then this should just come straight up. There we go. And I'll put that, let me think, where should I put this? I'm putting all those center wheels kind of in the same place here. So I'm going to put that there. All this is cleaned up, so the only thing left to deal with is this here. And there's two screws holding it together. And it's under tension. So this will likely want to fly away somewhere. You see how that trips over one? And this is the tension putting down on that. So if I release this, this might fly away, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to remove this. Loosen this screw up first. Decided to go fall inside a hole here. See if I can pick it out with Rodico. There we go. Loosen that up with Rodico. And I think I want to put that inside the center here, because I'm really worried about this flying out. This little plate here. Because that's under tension, right? So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to put Rodico down here while I remove this. Hey, stop slipping. Stop it. Geez, I hate when that Ring wireless alarm goes off. Alright, I dropped it down below, but I don't want to. I want to use this other Rodico to pick it up. There we go. I'm going to put that screw inside there. That's that. Now the question is, when I release this from here, is this thing going to go flying on me? Got to pick the right screwdriver to prise this out. No, I did a good job. Holding that Rodico down on that was a master plan, I'm telling you. And I just put all these parts in here. This looks a bit gummed up from years of history. That's it, my friends. That is totally stripped down. Let me have another look. Oh, there's one more plate here, but I don't want to take that out until later. I'm going to leave that where it is and let that go through the wash machine that way, because that's likely it's cap jewels holding on to the other jewels. So I'm not sure if I want to take that out right now. I'll leave that and clean it up later. So that's the only thing I've left on. So I'm very brave. And here are all the parts. I'll just put that down like that. That's fine like that. And there you go. That is a complete strip down of this watch movement. I have the other parts of it are here. So I've got this here. Let me see if I can get this out of the way here. The calendar here. There we go. Got that there. And I've got this here. Let me put this somewhere where it's not going to hurt anything. Let me look. Don't go that way. Don't go this way. You know what? I'm not putting it anywhere. I'm going to leave this out. Oot! So I'm leaving this out. Take this out, put it aside. That's my decision, folks. And I can put the dial here like that, I think. And will this still fit on? Yeah, it fits, no problem. That's like that. And then the ring, this ring for the watch, this can go anywhere actually. I'll just put that in the middle like this, and I'll put the lid on like this. I'll just put this back where it belongs, and we'll just clean that up after. I've got the hands in there right now, and this has got to all go in the cleaning machine. So we're going to organize this in the cleaning machine so it's optimizing the location of everything, and so I know exactly where everything is and I don't lose it. And I've got all of the cages for the cleaning machine. Got all of this all sorted out and ready, and I'll use that to clean the watch. And there we go. That's the strip down of this movement. Thanks for watching. So we'll just be reassembling it at a later time, but that was the strip down. So that's Jim's watch, stripped down and ready for cleaning. Let me put the lid back on so it keeps the dust out, and we're good to go. Thanks for watching this, and any comments, please make them, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.